As we age, many things in our bodies begin to change, and one of the most noticeable shifts happens in our sleep. If you're over 60 and find yourself waking up more during the night, taking longer to fall asleep, or simply feeling less refreshed in the morning, you're not alone. In fact, studies show that older adults experience lighter, shorter, and more fragmented sleep than younger individuals. But what most people don't realize is that poor sleep isn't just a frustrating inconvenience. It's a serious health issue that can silently damage your memory, your heart, and even your immune system over time. One of the biggest misconceptions among older adults is that bad sleep is just a natural part of aging, something to be endured. But that's not true. Sleep is as essential as nutrition and exercise. Especially after 60, it's during deep sleep that your brain clears toxins, your body repairs itself, and your hormones are balanced. Poor sleep can accelerate cognitive decline, increase the risk of chronic diseases like hypertension and diabetes, and leave you feeling mentally foggy and emotionally drained. What makes this even more concerning is that many people unknowingly make choices that sabotage their sleep every night. And one of the most common mistakes happens right at the dinner table. Most seniors focus on avoiding sugar or processed food, which is great, but they often ignore the impact of certain vegetables they've been told are healthy. The truth is, some vegetables can actually stimulate the nervous system, interfere with digestion, or block the production of key sleep hormones like melatonin. It sounds surprising, but yes, even vegetables can be sleep disruptors, especially when eaten at the wrong time or in the wrong combinations. Let's look at a practical example. A common piece of advice for better sleep is to keep your bedroom dark and quiet. That's smart and effective. But imagine doing that and still lying awake because your dinner included a vegetable that spikes alertness and raises your core body temperature, to things that directly block your body's natural ability to fall asleep. It's a hidden problem that many never consider, but once understood, it can dramatically improve how you feel every morning. From a scientific perspective, the body's sleep-wake cycle is governed by the circadian rhythm, an internal clock regulated by light exposure and hormone production, especially melatonin. As we get older, the natural production of melatonin declines. That makes it even more important to avoid anything that disrupts what little melatonin the body is still producing. Unfortunately, several popular vegetables contain compounds that do just that. They interfere with the brain's ability to slow down, making it harder to relax and drift into deep, restorative sleep. The good news? Once you identify which vegetables to avoid and what to eat, instead you can reset your nights naturally without pills or supplements. And that's exactly what this video will help you do. What you eat in the evening has a direct impact on the quality of your sleep, especially after the age of 60. While it's common knowledge to avoid caffeine or heavy meals at night, very few people are aware of the role certain vegetables play in either promoting or disrupting rest. That's because food isn't just about calories, it's about chemistry. Some vegetables contain substances that interfere with sleep-related hormones, alter digestion, or overstimulate the nervous system. And for older adults whose sleep patterns are already more fragile, these effects can be even more pronounced. One of the biggest mistakes many people make is assuming that all vegetables are equally healthy at all times of the day. But the body reacts differently to certain compounds depending on the time you eat them, your age, and your metabolism. For example, a vegetable that helps you feel energized during the day might be the very thing preventing you from falling asleep at night. The body's ability to metabolize nutrients slows down with age, and this includes how it processes certain plant compounds. That's why it's critical to understand not just what you eat, but when you eat it. Let's break this down scientifically, but in a simple way. The hormones that control your sleep and mood, like melatonin and serotonin, are influenced by your diet. These hormones depend on certain amino acids and minerals to function properly, and some foods support that process, while others block or disturb it. For example, melatonin is synthesized from serotonin, which in turn is made from an amino acid called tryptophan. Some vegetables interfere with this chain of production by being too acidic, by containing natural stimulants, or by disrupting the digestion of key nutrients needed for sleep. Take a moment to think about your typical dinner. Do you include a lot of raw vegetables? Do you opt for light meals, thinking it will help with sleep? It's a well-intentioned choice, but if you're eating the wrong types of vegetables at the wrong time, you're likely doing more harm than good. Even healthy habits can backfire when they're not tailored to the needs of an aging body. A simple, actionable tip: shift your focus in the evening toward foods that are calming and rich in magnesium, calcium, and tryptophan, nutrients that help the nervous system relax. And just as important, begin to limit or eliminate vegetables that are known to stimulate alertness or cause digestive stress. This one small change can have a massive impact on the depth and quality of your sleep, and over time, on your overall energy, memory, and emotional well-being. Sleep is not just about feeling rested. It's a cornerstone of healthy aging. And the wrong vegetables, eaten with good intentions, might be silently robbing you of that deep, healing rest your body so desperately needs. In the next part, we'll look at 4 specific vegetables that can sabotage your sleep and why removing them from your dinner plate could be the best decision you make this week. Let's start with the first of the 4 vegetables that can silently disrupt your sleep, even though they're often praised for their health benefits. The first one is tomato. Tomatoes are rich in nutrients like lycopene and vitamin C, and they're often seen as a healthy addition to salads, sauces, or light meals. But what most people don't know is that tomatoes are highly acidic and contain a compound called tyramine. Tyramine stimulates the brain by triggering the release of norepinephrine, a hormone that increases alertness. That's the last thing your brain needs when it's trying to wind down for the night. In addition to that, the acidity in tomatoes can cause mild acid reflux or indigestion, especially when eaten in the evening, which can interfere with your ability to fall into a deep sleep. A practical suggestion for those who love tomatoes: consider eating them earlier in the day, like at lunch, and avoid including them in your dinner. If you enjoy tomato-based sauces, try switching to options with cooked carrots or pumpkin in the evening. These are naturally sweet, calming, and easier to digest at night. The second vegetable on the list is eggplant. Eggplants are a staple in many dishes, especially in Mediterranean diets. But they also contain a group of natural substances called alkaloids, and more specifically, small amounts of nicotine, like compounds known as nicotinoids. While the levels are not dangerous, they can act as mild stimulants, subtly increasing brain activity and making it harder for your body to slow down in the hours before bedtime. This stimulation may go unnoticed during the day, but at night, especially in sensitive individuals or those over 60, it can be enough to interfere with falling asleep or staying asleep. Another issue with eggplants is that they can be hard to digest for some people, particularly when fried or undercanned. Digestive discomfort, even mild bloating or gas, can keep your body in a state of alert, making restful sleep difficult. If you enjoy eggplant, the solution isn't to eliminate it entirely, but to eat it at lunch rather than dinner and prepare it in a simple, well-cooked form. Grilling or baking can reduce some of the harshness while still preserving flavor. Many older adults fall into the trap of thinking that including more vegetables at dinner is always a good idea, and generally, that's true. But it matters which vegetables and when. Tomatoes and eggplants might be beneficial in other contexts, but at night, they can be counterproductive, especially if you're already struggling with poor sleep. By simply shifting when you eat certain foods, you give your body a better chance to rest and repair itself during the night. Remember, at this stage in life, your body needs support, not stimulation in the evening. Choosing calming, easy-to-digest foods over those that energize or irritate can make the difference between tossing and turning or sleeping peacefully through the night. In the next part, we'll explore 2 more vegetables that might be silently keeping you awake and what to eat instead to support deep, restful sleep. Now let's look at 2 more vegetables that may seem harmless, even beneficial, but could be standing between you and a full night of restful sleep. The third vegetable is spinach. Spinach is often celebrated as a superfood. It's packed with iron, magnesium, and antioxidants, and it certainly has its place in a healthy diet. However, when it comes to sleep, especially in adults over 60, spinach can present some hidden challenges. Spinach is high in oxalates, natural compounds, that can interfere with the absorption of calcium. Calcium plays a critical role in helping the brain use tryptophan to manufacture melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. If your body isn't getting enough usable calcium, melatonin production can decline even further, which is especially concerning since melatonin already decreases naturally with age. On top of that, the iron in spinach, while essential, can sometimes be hard to digest in its plant-based form, particularly for older individuals. This can lead to slight digestive discomfort, which might not cause pain but can still prevent your body from fully relaxing into deep sleep. If you enjoy spinach, the best approach is to consume it during the day when your digestive system is more active. Lightly steaming it can also reduce its oxalate content, making it easier for the body to handle. And at dinner, consider replacing spinach with calming greens like cooked kale or Swiss chard, which are rich in calcium and gentler on the digestive system. The fourth and final vegetable in this list is bell pepper, particularly red and green varieties. Bell peppers are sweet, crunchy, and a common ingredient in stir-fries, salads, and even light evening meals. But they're also rich in capsaicin, the compound that gives peppers their slight heat, even though bell peppers aren't as spicy. As chili peppers, capsaicin still affects the body by slightly increasing your core body temperature. That's a problem because in order to fall asleep, your body needs to lower its internal temperature. Eating foods that raise it even mildly can delay the onset of sleep and decrease its overall quality. Bell peppers can also be tough to digest for some people, especially when eaten raw. The skin is fibrous and can cause bloating or mild discomfort, which again may not be painful but is enough to disrupt the body's ability to fully rest. After the age of 60, digestion naturally slows down, and eating fibrous, raw vegetables late in the day can place unnecessary strain on the digestive system. A simple, effective change would be to swap bell peppers for roasted carrots or steamed zucchini in your evening meals. These alternatives are soothing, easier on the stomach, and more aligned with your body's nighttime needs. It's important to remember that none of these vegetables are inherently bad. The problem lies not in the food itself, but in the timing and the unique needs of an aging body. What worked for you in your 30s or 40 seconds may no longer serve you the same way today. Listening to your body, observing how you feel after certain meals, and making small, intentional adjustments can yield powerful results over time. Especially when it comes to sleep. In the next part, we'll shift the focus to solutions. Which vegetables actually support deeper, more restful sleep, and how you can incorporate them into your nightly routine for better health, energy, and mental clarity. Now that we've identified the vegetables that could be quietly interfering with your sleep, it's time to focus on what works in your favor: the vegetables that actively support deep, restorative rest. These are the foods that calm the nervous system, help regulate hormones, and prepare your body to enter the natural rhythms of sleep. And for adults over 60, including these in your evening meals can bring noticeable improvements in how easily you fall asleep, how deeply you rest, and how refreshed you feel in the morning. The first vegetable to consider adding to your dinner routine is lettuce, especially varieties like romaine or butter lettuce. While it might seem simple, lettuce contains a natural compound called lactucarium, sometimes referred to as lettuce opium. Though it's not addictive or harmful, lactucarium has mild sedative properties. It acts on the brain in a way that promotes relaxation and drowsiness. That's why, for centuries, lettuce has been used in traditional remedies to support sleep. A small salad made with soft lettuce, perhaps combined with a bit of olive oil and chamomile vinegar, can be a gentle way to send the body a signal that it's time to wind down. Next, we have pumpkin. Pumpkin is naturally rich in magnesium, a mineral that plays a key role in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including the regulation of sleep. Magnesium helps the muscles relax, reduces stress hormones like cortisol, and supports the production of melatonin. Most people are deficient in magnesium without knowing it, especially older adults, since absorption becomes less efficient with age. Including pumpkin in your dinner, either as a puree or lightly roasted, is a soothing and nutrient-rich option that supports the body's natural ability to calm itself before bed. A third powerful vegetable to support sleep is kale. While often associated with high energy and detox diets, kale is also an excellent source of calcium. And as mentioned earlier, calcium is necessary for the brain to convert tryptophan into melatonin. When eaten cooked in the evening, kale becomes easier to digest and can gently support the chemical processes your body relies on to fall asleep naturally. Pairing kale with a small serving of protein, like lentils or eggs, can enhance the benefits even further by providing the amino acids needed for hormone production. Finally, asparagus deserves a spot on your evening plate. Asparagus is high in folate and tryptophan, both of which are essential for the production of serotonin and melatonin, the key neurotransmitters involved in sleep regulation. Folate also supports mood stability, which is important because anxiety and irritability can often go hand in hand with poor sleep. Steamed asparagus drizzled with a bit of lemon juice or olive oil makes for a delicious and sleep-friendly side dish. What sets these vegetables apart isn't just their nutrient profile, but how they interact with your body's rhythms. Unlike the more stimulating options we discussed earlier, these vegetables support relaxation, hormone balance, and digestion, the three pillars of healthy sleep. Eating them regularly at dinner, ideally 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, can train your body to expect rest and ease the transition into a full night's sleep. Small changes in your diet can lead to big changes in your health. And after the age of 60, when the body becomes more sensitive to dietary choices, understanding which foods to avoid and which ones to embrace becomes not just helpful, but essential for maintaining energy, mental clarity, and long-term well-being. Now that you understand which vegetables to avoid and which to embrace, the next step is knowing how to put it all together into a practical, nightly routine that supports deep, uninterrupted sleep. After all, it's not just about individual foods, it's about how you combine them, when you eat them, and how consistent your habits are. This is especially true after the age of 60, when small imbalances in diet or timing can have a much bigger effect on your overall rest and recovery. Start by thinking of your dinner as your sleep preparation meal. Its purpose is no longer to energize or fuel intense activity, but rather to calm the body, stabilize blood sugar, and create the ideal internal environment for rest. A good evening plate for someone over 60 should include 3 key elements: calming vegetables like the ones we discussed, a small portion of protein, and a source of complex carbohydrates. This combination helps support neurotransmitter production, prevent nighttime hunger, and avoid blood sugar dips that can trigger waking during the night. For example, one ideal evening meal could include steamed kale and roasted pumpkin alongside, a small piece of grilled chicken or a hard-boiled egg, plus a small serving of quinoa or sweet potato. This type of meal is easy to digest, rich in nutrients that promote relaxation, and balanced in a way that won't overload the digestive system. Right before bed, another option could be a soup made with blended pumpkin, lentils, and mild herbs, served with a side of lightly sautéed asparagus. Meals like these are not only satisfying, they actively help your body wind down. Timing is also critical. The ideal window for your last meal is about 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Eating too late means your body is still focused on digestion when it should be shifting into repair mode. On the other hand, skipping dinner entirely can lead to blood sugar crashes during the night, which can cause you to wake up suddenly or feel anxious without knowing why. Many older adults unknowingly fall into these patterns, thinking they're eating light or being healthy, when in fact they're setting themselves up for sleep disruptions. Another common mistake is relying on snacks or late-night habits to make up for missed nutrients. A handful of crackers or a piece of fruit before bed might seem harmless, but it can send mixed signals to your metabolism and interfere with the delicate hormone balance required for restful sleep. Instead, by planning a proper, balanced dinner, you reduce the need for anything else later and support a more predictable sleep cycle. To make it even easier, consider creating a simple 3-day rotation of sleep-supportive meals. Not only does this reduce the stress of deciding what to eat each night, but it also helps your body settle into a predictable rhythm. Over time, your nervous system begins to associate certain foods and meal times with rest, much like how a bedtime routine helps a child wind down. Ultimately, restoring your sleep isn't about taking pills or making drastic changes. It's about consistency, awareness, and giving your body what it truly needs. And for many people over 60, the right dinner habits are a powerful first step toward better nights, clearer mornings, and more energy throughout the day. You've now learned the truth about how certain vegetables, often thought to be healthy, might be quietly sabotaging your sleep after 60. You've also discovered which ones can actually work in your favor, gently supporting your body's natural ability to rest, recover, and restore itself overnight. But this goes deeper than just what's on your plate. This is about reclaiming your nights and with them, your energy, your clarity, and your peace of mind. Poor sleep is not something you have to accept as part of aging. It's not normal to lie awake at night staring at the ceiling, waking up feeling just as tired as when you went to bed, or walking through your days in a fog of exhaustion. Those quiet frustrations, the mental fatigue, the low mood, the lack of motivation often start with one thing: not sleeping well. And yet, the solution is sometimes right in front of us. Not in a prescription bottle or an expensive treatment, but in small, thoughtful changes to what we eat and when we eat it. Think of this as a shift in mindset. You're not just feeding your body anymore, you're preparing it to heal. With every dinner you prepare, you have the chance to support your brain, protect your heart, balance your mood, and guard your memory. Sleep isn't just rest. It's a process your body depends on to fight disease, manage weight, keep your mind sharp, and even slow the aging process. And the good news? It's never too late to make a change. Even if you've spent years sleeping poorly, even if you've tried pills or routines that didn't work, you can begin again tonight. All it takes is one decision: to look at your dinner plate not just as food, but as medicine, as support, as a message to your body that it's safe to slow down, to release the stress of the day, and to enter a deep, peaceful sleep. If this message resonates with you, if you've recognized something in your own routine, or if you've thought of someone in your life who might be quietly suffering through sleepless nights, I encourage you to take action. Leave a comment below and share. Which of these vegetables surprised you the most? Give this video a like if you found value here, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you never miss another tip that could help you feel stronger, sharper, and more alive. And if you're someone who's been feeling like time is slipping by too quickly, like the best years are behind you, let this be a reminder: the quality of your life isn't measured by your age, but by how you feel each day. And that begins, truly, with how you sleep each night. You deserve to feel rested. You deserve to wake up clear-headed, with energy in your step and peace in your heart. It starts with a few small changes, and it starts tonight.